everyone, I'm Josie from Fashion Mumbler. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to create this festive party makeup look. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the primer from Yves Saint Laurent. This is the Touche Eclat Blur Primer, and this is going to help my makeup last all day. So I'm popping a couple of pumps on the back of my hand and putting this on my cheeks, on my forehead, and this has actually got some really small glow particles in there, which is just going to enhance the radiance of my complexion as well. One of my favourite foundations for more full coverage that's going to last all night long, no matter how much dancing you get done, is the bareMinerals Bare Pro. This is the Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. I've popped a pump on the back of my hand once again, and I'm just using my fingers to apply this straight onto the skin. This one you can really build up the coverage as much or as little as you want to. So start with a little bit less and you can always build it up. I'm also using the bareMinerals brush just to blend this into the skin. As you can see straight away, it's a really nice high coverage. I'm going to apply just a tiny bit more on areas where I feel I need a little bit of extra coverage. So on my chin and just on my cheeks where my skin gets a little bit red. And I'm using more of a stippling motion here, and this again just helps to build up the coverage, giving me more of a flawless finish. Next, I'm going to put on some bronzer. This is from Guerlain. It is the bronzing powder, and I love this brush from bareMinerals. It's a really great shape for getting quite a precise finish on where you apply the bronzer. So I like to start under my cheekbones. You can see this is a really nice, natural, matte color. And that's because I want to be more selective with the areas that I add the shine and the shimmer with my complexion. I usually tend to follow almost like a number 3 shape when applying the bronzer, and this just helps to give my face a really natural contour. And then whatever's left on my brush, I just warm up the complexion in the other areas. So because we're going to be doing a really nice eye look and I want it to last all night long, I'm going to be priming my eyelids. This is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. It has got a doe foot applicator, but I prefer to just pop it on with my fingers for a slightly more precise application. So I pop a little bit on the back of my hand and apply. Next, I'm going to apply some lip balm, and this is just going to hydrate my lips ahead of the lipstick that I'll be applying later. This is a travel set from Guerlain. It is their duo of hydrating and plumping tinted lip balms. It's a really nice one to have in your handbag on a day-to-day basis, but also really lovely for prepping the lips ahead of some lipstick. On the eyes, I wanted to use a more festive palette. This one is the Goldenland palette from Guerlain. It's absolutely beautiful. You get a selection of lovely shades inside, a mixture of matte and shimmers. I'm going to start with one of the more matte shades. This is like a kind of taupey shade, not too dissimilar to my natural eyelid colour, so it's just going to create a really lovely even base, and I'm using the big mirror in the lid of the palette. So I'm starting by applying this all over and right up to the brow bone. And then I want to create a little bit more definition in the crease of the eyelid, so I'm going to use one of the darker shades. This one up here has got a little bit of shimmer in there, but we're saving the most shimmering shades until last. This one's just going over the actual lid and the crease of the eye. And you want to make sure you blend this one in as much as possible using a nice big fluffy blending brush. You might find if you've used an eyelid primer that the colours are a little bit more intense than you're used to, so just blend them out, perhaps even testing on the back of your hand first. Now I'm going to use a slightly deeper shade, again, just to define the crease of the eye. Still sticking with matte shades before we bring in those festive glittery colours. So I want to apply some gold on my eyelids. It's one of my favourite festive colours, in case you couldn't tell. So I'm going to be testing out all 3 golds. This palette has 3 of them, just to see which one I love the tone of the most. One of them is a little bit cooler. We've got one that's almost a little bit green, and then we've got a really lovely warm gold as well. I think I'm going to go for this middle one. Taking a fresh brush, I'm just going to take a little bit and pat it straight into the centre of the eyelid. Once again, this is really great at building up, depending on how sparkly you want to make your festive eye look. And then back to my original brush, just to blend them all together. Another product that I love to use on my eyes when I'm doing a metallic eye look is the bareMinerals Ombre Blackstar in the shade Misty Rock. This is a cream eyeshadow stick, and it's really lovely for applying close to the lash line if you want to continue that metallic look on the lower lash level as well. So I'm using this in the place of eyeliner, just to add a little definition to the lower lash line while continuing with the metallic effect. And I'm blending it into my top lash line as well, just to ensure everything works beautifully together using the same brush as before. Now that I'm happy with my shadow, I'm going to curl the lashes, and I'm actually going to be using a brown mascara for this look. Because I'm going to be going for a really bold lipstick, I don't want my eyes to be too intense. Sparkly is one thing, but I don't want them to be too bold. So I'm going to be using a brown mascara, which for me is just a little bit more subtle and soft for this overall look. I find that curling the lashes makes such a huge difference as well. This mascara is fantastic at really lifting and separating the lashes, and if you've curled the lashes as well, it creates almost a false lash effect. So I've applied this on my top and bottom lash line just to really open up the eye look, and next I'm going to move on to brows. I'm going to use the Clinique Superfine liner for brows. As always, just testing on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use really quick, fine hair-like strokes to fill in any gaps following my natural brow shape. Once again, because we're going bold on the lips, we don't want the brows to be too bold. So where my brows are a little bit spacious and sparse at the front here, I'm just creating hair-like strokes to build that shape back in. And then following the natural arch of the brow, just to build in a little bit more brow hair. So that's helped to just bring a little bit more shape to my brows, and then I'm going to add volume and set the brow shape using Benefit Gimme Brow. So you have a tiny little brush which you can use to pick up all the individual lash hairs. I like to comb my brows upwards to pick up as much product on the brows as possible, almost back combing my brows. And then smooth down any brow hairs that fall outside of the natural brow line. So it's quite a nice natural brow look, nothing too bold, but it just completes the eye look with a nice neat finish. Now that we've finished the eye look, I'm just going to go in and touch up that under eye area using a Touche Eclat. This is the Travel Duos. You have 2 Touche Eclat in here, and I'm going to just apply this underneath the eye area, just to really illuminate underneath the eyes. Perfect for those festive late nights. I like to blend this with my finger as opposed to any brushes, and it just helps to merge the product with my skin and make it look a little more natural. This is also great if maybe any of your eyeshadow has slipped and fallen onto your skin. It just helps to neaten up and tidy the under eye area and keep it nice and bright. You can also bring it up towards the corner of the brow, and it acts a little bit like a highlighter too. So before we move on to the rest of the complexion, I'm going to really set down what we've done so far, and I'm going to use the Quickfix spray from Decay. This is a really handy travel size as well, so fantastic for popping in your suitcase or travel bag when you're doing your makeup on the go. So just a few mists to set the complexion. Now I'm going to add some highlight, and I'm going to be using the Terracotta Goldenland Illuminating Powder from Guerlain. This is from the same collection as the beautiful eyeshadow palette. I like to be quite precise with my highlights, so I'm going to use a fan brush and just really lightly pick up some of the beautiful golden powder. This also smells incredible, like their terracotta fragrance. And then I'm going to apply this quite precisely onto the cheekbones. You can see instantly just gives a gorgeous, really warm golden highlight. I feel like during the festive party season, this is the time of year to go as bold as you want with your highlight, so don't be afraid to go in and really create that beautiful glow. So I like to apply on the top of the cheekbone and also underneath the brow bone, which is when it's fantastic to have such a precise brush like this. I'm also going to pop a little bit on the tip of my nose and on the arch of my lips too. If you're wearing more of a low-cut dress, something that I also love to do is take a little bit of the highlighting powder and just pop it on your collarbones for a really beautiful glowing finish. Now we're going to move on to my favourite part of the look, and it is the lips. First of all, we need to blot off any excess lip balm, so taking a tissue just to give the lips a matte finish, and I'm going to be using the NARS Velvet Lip Glide in the shade Le Palace. It's this beautiful festive red that should last all night long. So as you can see, this gives a really beautiful, very bold finish of very intense red colour, perfect for the festive season. You can either leave the look like this or apply a gloss over the top during the evening, or you can be even more bold and add some glitter. I'm going to be applying the Diorific lipstick in the shade Passion. And before I do that, I've actually blotted the lips a little bit just so we have a more matte base to work with. This is quite possibly one of the most spectacular lipsticks I've ever seen. Have a look at this. It is so shimmery, absolutely perfect for the festive party season. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the red base. So this finishes the lips off beautifully with an iridescent, almost satiny finish, which is perfect for a party look. You can pop this in your handbag as well. It's a lovely thing to reapply throughout the night. And this is my finished look. I'm going to ensure that it lasts all night long by using the Max Fix Plus. This is the Goldlite version. This has got pearlescent particles in there, which is just going to finish off my look with a beautiful glow. And that is the finishing touch to my festive party look. I really hope you enjoyed this get ready with me, and have a fabulous festive season.